The crypto world, man, it just never stops changing, right? So if you're thinking about the long haul, like where to park your assets until 2026, picking the right exchange feels like this monumental decision. It's like, where do you even begin? Well, that's what we're going to tackle today. We're going to cut through all that noise and help you pinpoint a platform that's actually secure and reliable.
And really, this is the question, isn't it? It's at the core of everything we do in crypto. I mean, it's not just about finding the lowest fees or the coolest looking app anymore. It's about something way deeper. It's about trust. So let's dive in and see which platforms are actually earning that trust for the long run.
Okay, so this right here, it perfectly sums up what's happening in the crypto exchange world. It's like we're seeing this great divide. On one side, you've got exchanges going all in on transparency. They're showing you their proof of funds, proving they can back up every single user asset. But on the other side, well, things are getting a little murky. Some platforms are becoming less transparent, and it makes you wonder, is my money really safe there? And that split is exactly why picking the right one is so important. All right, so where should we start? Let's begin with the big dogs, the established players. You know the ones I'm talking about. The exchanges that have been around the block and built their entire reputation on being trustworthy and, honestly, just easy to use when you're starting out.
First up, Coinbase. I mean, pretty much everyone in crypto has heard of them, right? Now, here's what makes them a big deal for safety. They're a publicly traded company, right here in the US. What does that mean for you? It means their books are under a microscope. They go through super strict audits. That gives you a level of transparency that's frankly pretty rare in this space. On top of that, its interface is famously beginner-friendly, and maybe most importantly, they keep most of your funds in cold storage. Basically, it's offline, locked away from any online threat. But, it's easy to talk about reliability when things are going well. The real test is what happens when things go wrong, right? A while back, Coinbase did have a security issue, and the response tells you everything you need to know. They didn't just apologize. They fully refunded every single person who was affected, and then they immediately beefed up their security. That kind of action, that speaks volumes about how much they actually care about their users.
Okay, but there's always a catch, isn't there? That simplicity comes at a price. If you just use the standard, basic version of Coinbase, the fees can be, well, they can be pretty high. But listen up, because here's a huge pro tip for you. Just switch over to Coinbase Advanced. Don't worry, the interface is still totally manageable, but the fees, they drop a lot. It's such a simple click, but it can literally save you a ton of money over time.
So yeah, Coinbase is fantastic for getting your feet wet. But what happens when you're ready to swim in the deep end? What if you're a more active trader and you need those professional tools and access to way more coins?
Well, that brings us to the absolute titan of the industry, Binance. Seriously, it's the biggest crypto exchange on the planet for a reason. We're talking access to a ridiculous number of coins. Everything from the big guys to the tiniest trending tokens. They also have this thing called the SAFU Fund, which is basically a giant emergency insurance pot to cover users if disaster ever strikes. And the cherry on top, the trading fees are just absurdly low.
Okay, so with all that power comes, well, a bit of a learning curve. As this quote says, jumping into Binance for the first time can feel pretty overwhelming. I mean, there are menus inside of menus, features everywhere you look. It's a lot. But, and this is a big but, if you can push through that initial complexity, the trading experience it offers is second to none.
So what if you're stuck in the middle? You want all that trading power, but the idea of navigating Binance gives you a headache? Well, that's where a platform like Bybit really shines. A lot of traders are flocking to it precisely because it's just so smooth. It's fast, it's intuitive, and it just works. It gives you a really comfortable trading environment, plus they're known for listing hot new coins early. It's kind of the perfect happy medium.
Okay, hold on. Before we jump into our last group of exchanges, I want to pause for a second. Let's take a step back and talk about what safety truly means in the world of crypto. Because, it's a much bigger idea than just which exchange you happen to be using.
This is so important to understand. Exchanges are like the marketplace. They are fantastic for buying, selling, and trading, but they were never designed to be your personal bank vault. When you leave your crypto sitting on an exchange long-term, you're essentially handing over the keys. You're trusting them to keep it safe for you. You don't have that final, ultimate control.
So, for that ultimate top-tier, long-term security, you really want to look at a hardware wallet. The easiest way to think about it is like a super secure USB stick built just for your crypto. What it does is it keeps your private keys, the passwords to your crypto, completely offline. That means hackers on the internet just can't get to them. This is what people mean when they say your keys, your crypto. With a hardware wallet, they are your keys and you are 100% in control.
And, the process sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Your private keys live on this tiny, secure chip inside the device itself. So when you want to send some crypto, you just connect the device to an app. But here's the magic part. Nothing happens until you physically press a button or use your fingerprint on the device itself to approve it. That physical step, that's the secret sauce that makes it so incredibly secure.
All right, with that crucial lesson in mind, let's get back to the exchanges. For our last category, we're going to look at the modern all-rounders. These are the platforms that are really trying to give you the best of all worlds. A slick, modern design, all the powerful features you need, and seriously robust security. And honestly, a perfect example of this is OKX. This platform really offers a complete package. They're transparent with their proof of reserves, which is huge. They've got a long track record with no major hacks, knock on wood, and they've nailed the interface. It's powerful, but it doesn't make your head spin. Oh, and its built-in Web3 wallet, it's genuinely one of the best in the game, letting you dive right into DeFi and NFTs without ever leaving the app.
Another name you're probably hearing more and more is Bitefi. This one is making some serious waves. It's growing super fast, and that's because it has this really clean, smooth user experience, and, you guessed it, very low trading fees. So if you're on the hunt for a platform that feels modern and simple and is always on top of listing the newest trending coins, then yeah, Bitefi is absolutely one to keep on your radar.
Okay, deep breath. We've gone through the old guard, the big trading powerhouses, and the new school all-rounders. So now it's time for the big finale. Let's pull all this information together and help you figure out which one of these is actually the right fit for you.
So, the million-dollar question, how do you pick one? Let's just break it down nice and simple. If you're a beginner and security is your absolute #1 priority, Coinbase is a fantastic choice. Just remember that little trick about the fees. If you're an active trader who needs every tool under the sun, Binance is your kingdom, as long as you're ready for the complexity. Bybit is that perfect in-between. OKX is the amazing do-it-all option, and Bitefi, that's your fresh, low-cost choice with a slick design.
Because at the end of the day, there's no single safest exchange for everyone. It's a really personal choice. It's all about finding the platform that clicks with your goals, your experience level, and your comfort zone. Look, the crypto world is going to keep changing. That's a guarantee. But now you have a solid framework. You're equipped to make a really smart choice for your own crypto journey. So the only question left is, which path are you going to take?